Hi everybody, welcome to the studio. Today I am making the chalice, and just to kind of do a quick recap, this is the center medallion for the Baltimore album quilt that I am making. And in the center here is the chalice, and that is what I am going to show you how I'm making today. Going to turn this seam. One of the methods that I have been doing is the Apliquick method. And so the way that I do it is I use this old notebook, and in fact that piece has some glue on it. What I do is I use one page, a clean page, and that is the page where I put my glue on. And then after my glue is on, then I transfer it to a clean page and then I turn. These are the tools, the Apliquick tools, and one side has these little forks, and I should have cleaned these. Whoops, sorry guys. I had a little bit of glue for my last project on it. But these are the tools. This side has two prongs, if you can see that, and this one has a point. And then your other tool has a beveled edge, if you can see that. That might be a better angle right there. And then a point. So what you do is with your left hand or right, whichever, if you're right-handed you can swap it too, but I use my little tongies in my left hand, and that holds the fabric or your project in place. And then you use this beveled side to sweep with. So it's literally, once you have your glue on here, it's just a sweeping, and it's amazing how this works. So these are the tools. These are kind of your new fingers, if you will. And then I use a glue stick, and it's water soluble, and that is literally it. I do want to kind of just let you know that this fusible is an Apliquick fusible, and I love this stuff because it's very light. And so the pieces that are up there, several of them have this fusible in them, and you really can't tell. It's just amazing. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and turn these edges, and I like to start kind of at the corners if I have them, and I just kind of turn them first and get some of the glue in those corners. And then I'm just gonna turn these, and I want to get this the corners I really want to get right at that point. This point right here is literally right there, and I want to make sure that I get a nice sharp point there. And you can kind of see, let me turn this a little bit. As I'm turning it, you can kind of see it start creasing, and that's my guide. That tells me I'm right on where it's gonna be. So if I do that and kind of lift up, you can see it's pretty much right there. So I'm good with that, and I just press it down. Okay, so there's that. So now I'm going to start here, and I'm going to I work from right to left. It's just kind of my way that I found is more comfortable for me. And so literally you do a nice, and you don't want to work too far ahead with the glue just to make sure it doesn't dry. And the more you do it, the more you will know how far ahead you can go. And it depends on the piece too. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to flip back over here. And when I get to some of these corners, down in here, I will probably do some, just some snipping of the fabric. But this is a pretty easy corner, so I think, or curve, so I think I should be fine. And when I'm doing this, I really am trying to have no wobbles in the fabric on the back. And you know, sometimes, to be honest, it's really, you're gonna have it. But I try not to, because then it'll just kind of be flatter. Now that I'm getting down into these tighter curves, I am gonna go ahead and do a couple of just little cuts. I am not going to the fusible. I'm leaving, if you can see, kind of a couple of the threads that make up the fabric. I'm leaving a couple of those widths away from the fusible, and I just I like to have that little bit of wiggle room there. And so literally I'm just going to kind of and this is going to help everything. Just I find that it lays a little flatter, and I get a smoother edge. Excuse me. And in this area, after I get done with my snipping here, I'm actually going to cut this a little bit closer. And you'll actually, the more you do this, the more you will know for you what works the best. I just want to get that a little bit closer because there's not a lot of space in here, and so this is kind of a lot of fabric for that corner to accommodate. So on this one, I'm going to do a little bit too. Okay. I just don't want all these little pieces to get in my hand in the seam allowance. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead, and as you can see, I kind of moved down from the area where I previously glued because I don't want I don't want that glue on my piece. And sometimes you get it on there, it's just kind of the way it is. And if you do, after you're done, just take a little bit of water and it'll come off. Okay, so. And this is a good spot if you have an area that's kind of being difficult, you can swap to your tip. Okay, now we're going to turn and see how that just lays so nice. Need that little tip a little bit here. When you're getting into the tight areas like this, these points are wonderful. And then so this one, I don't particularly care for how that one laid out. So just redo it. That's better. So that looks a lot better. So you can just kind of flip it over as you're going, and that actually looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So then you go back over, and this literally is the process. I want to look at that. So you can see right here I kind of have a little bubble. So you just go back and it's right here. And you can kind of usually tell . Yeah, that's better. Still have a little bit right there. And I think part of that is because I didn't cut this fabric. I could have cut that a little bit closer. Check that. Okay. Check. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, now I'm going to do a little quick snipping in here. I've seen some people that don't do the little snips and they can get it so nice, but I just found, I found for me that I just need that little extra kind of flexibility, I guess, in the fabric is a good way to put it. And one thing about these Apliquick tools, they're stainless steel, so I just wash mine with soap and water. And if you do get any glue on them, I've never had a problem. It's always come off for me. Okay, let's give this another last swipe. I kind of use a lot of glue because I don't want my pieces coming apart, and and so I have a tendency to go through a lot of glue sticks. But see how that just kind of works right out? It's pretty amazing, really. There we go. And then we just fold that right. Look at that beautiful point. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm just going to kind of work these little spots out like that. And let's see how that looks. And I kind of give everything a little press down, and there it is. Woohoo! And I mean, look at those points. That's fantastic. I love it. This one is kind of flaring out just a little bit. So you can just kind of go back in and do a little snugger up, and there you have it. I kind of think right here, see this spot right here where it kind of curves in? On here, I think I want a little more curve. So all you have to do is go back and kind of work it like this. You may need to do a little more glue. Kind of like that. And then kind of come back in and just make that a little bit more pronounced. And that's one of the things that I love about this, is that you are able to, you know, come back and redo. I mean, just as literally as easy as that. and kind of go back, and then see how that looks. Yeah, see how that is more, there's more of a little dippy. Okay, so there we have it. I am going to go back and I'm going to do this one a little bit more too. This is the time now to, you know, fix any of this kind of stuff that you have, because this is the piece that you're going to be sewing on that background, you know, piece of fabric. And so you really want to get these pieces the way you want them now. Okay, see how that looks. Get that. And so while I'm bringing this part in, I'm also pushing this part of the curve out too. So I'm kind of doing both at the same time. Oops, come on. There we go. That's better. Okay, let's see how that looks. And you can kind of see that right here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so let's give it a little smoosh down. And I kind of got a flat spot right here, and I don't like that. Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, so there is the challet.